So good morning. I had to turn off the speakers. The speaker system had left completely on, so then I hear the booming speakers that are above me in the wall. And it's nicer just to be here with all of you without that extra voice coming in. So to begin, when we sit down to meditate, we can ask ourselves, are we ready to be in the present moment? Are we ready to be receptive and present and engage nicely in the present moment? In a way, it might be interesting or evocative to say that the present moment is always ready for you. Are you ready for it? Is the mind ready? And this mind that we have can be busy and caught up in thoughts and ideas and feelings and agendas, preferences, many things that might interfere with the capacity to be ready, to be available, and ready, available for this moment, to receive, receptive. And sometimes it takes part of the meditation, a lot of the meditation period, for the mind to finally be present enough where we can say it's available to the present, it's ready for the present, it's ready to allow something to grow and develop. And one of those things is a greater readiness, a greater receptivity, a greater availability to really feel, sense, be here in what can be called our experience. And that's a choice expression because it means what we're experiencing, not what we're thinking so much. What we're experiencing is always here in the present. We might have agendas about it and preferences, but those interfere with our ability to be ready, available, receptive, here. So, to begin this process of readying the mind to assume a meditation posture, a posture itself that if someone saw you could see that this posture is available for the present, is here, attentive, is awake, alert. If you are sitting back a lot in a chair, take a few, maybe just 2 minutes or so, to sit up as straight as you would if you suddenly heard maybe a car come up to your house that sounded like the car of an old, very good friend. Like, oh, what's that I hear? And you sit up to kind of like pay attention. What's this? Just maybe for a couple of minutes to get a sense of a certain kind of alertness which is ready, available for here. Gently closing your eyes. Being receptive to the experience of your body, taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. Relaxing the body as you exhale, long exhale. maybe slightly longer, long enough to get your attention. It's time to breathe in. So the inhale is a little bit more conscious than automatic. Letting your breathing return to normal. And what would it be like now, sitting here quietly, to establish a readiness of mind, readiness of attention for whatever might happen during this meditation? That you're available to be attentive, kind of readiness where nothing is a surprise. It's just one more thing this too is the experience of the moment. A readiness which is not assertive, but rather receptive, available. Maybe ready, available, even for what would be unexpected. Relaxing the body. Where the more relaxed you are, the more receptive, ready, available. And then settling into the experience of breathing, settled and ready, as if each breath is a new event, each breath as if it's unique and almost like the first breath, ready for it, available as the breath is. If this time now was the beginning of the meditation, would your readiness be different? Your receptivity, availability to the present moment, has it changed over these minutes? And as we come to the end of this sitting, is there something about how you are right now that feels more ready, available in a relaxed way, in a receptive way? Maybe it's in your body. Maybe it's in your mind or your heart. Some part of you is more settled, at ease, so that it's open and available for whatever, here and now. And then coming to the end of the sitting, to invite into your mind, your attention, your thoughts, other people who you might encounter today. People you know, strangers on the street, stores, people that you might somehow encounter on your screen and media. And is there a way of being ready, receptive to others that helps you tap into appreciation of others, goodwill of others, for others, a generosity of spirit, of attention for others? May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. Thank you. So welcome to this beginning of the week, this week that is between these two holidays that we have. Kind of in some ways a liminal or limbo or alternative kind of week for many people. And we have a new theme. So last week the topic was the four right efforts, where the emphasis is to let go or the unwholesome and develop the wholesome. And today, this week, I wanted to talk about 5 wholesome states that can be cultivated and developed that are could be appreciated in our lives. And it's not the common wholesome states that this early Buddhist tradition is maybe most associated with. Often the Buddha would begin a Dharma talk to lay people especially on the topic of generosity. Generosity is often a preeminent wholesome state in our tradition. He might also talk about states of ethical integrity, kind of wholesome integrity. There might be meditative joy and happiness, tranquility. The variety of things that are fairly well known in our tradition. But for this week, I want to do something which is not so emphasized, or hardly at all, that the Buddha put a particular emphasis on, and importance of, as wholesome states to be developed or cultivated or to be evoked in preparation for real insight, to really be able to see deeply into the nature of our hearts, our minds, our lives. And so these 5 wholesome states are to be a readiness of mind, a malleability of mind, a mind free of hindrances, I forget the 4th for the moment. The 5th is a bright mind or a confident mind. So ready, receptive, free of hindrances. Right at the moment, maybe some of you remember the 4th, but we'll get to it. Somehow it slipped my mind. And so these are 5 states that the Buddha would evoke in people in preparation for giving the deepest Dharma he has, the deepest teachings he had. And so he would give a Dharma talk to prepare people for deep teachings, and these are the 5 ways in which he prepared their minds. So the first is, the word is kalla, K-A-L-L-A, and it's usually translated as a ready mind, a readiness of mind. It's a mind that's receptive, that is available, that's prepared in order to receive something really significant to be. And so one of the functions of meditation is, in fact, to cultivate this readiness of mind. The Zen master Suzuki Roshi, the founder of San Francisco Zen Center, in his book Zen My Beginner's Mind, his definition of mindfulness is in fact a readiness of mind, and to be ready and available to attend to whatever might be coming up next, the next thing that arrives in the present moment. If we're distracted, if we're already retrospective thinking, like thinking back at what just happened, then we're not there for the next moment. And this art of being able to let go of what just happened enough, not think about it, dwell on it, to really be fresh and available, ready for the next moment, is a phenomenal gift when many people feel like they're obligated to review and think about and criticize and comment and be weighed down by what happened in the past, even if it's just a few moments before. And this readiness, it's always available, always open for the next thing, is a mind which is prepared, a mind which is receptive, is available to be changed. And this is one of the aspects of readiness of mind, is to be ready and available to be changed. There's some idea that a real dialogue with other people, if you have a conversation, that it's a dialogue is only possible if each person is willing to be changed. If we're stubborn or resistant and kind of in a dialogue or in some kind of serious conversation with someone, and we're not willing to change, there's not possibility of dialogue. Dialogue in this kind of definition is one where maybe each person is changed by the conversation. They learn something new, they see something new, they understand something in a new way. So the same thing with meditation. Are you available to be changed? And I don't think that's such an easy thing to be, because of the intensity in which many of us will be involved in our concerns, our beliefs, our attitudes that we have. And so we're holding on to it, or resisting something, or we're hunkered down or tight or frozen in time even sometimes. And so part of meditation practice, and in time of the Buddha, part of a Dharma talk, was to engage people in such a way, engage yourself in such a way that something softens and opens and relaxes, and you kind of finally arrive here. Turning point in meditation practice is arrival. When you really feel, oh, I'm here, I've arrived, I'm in the present moment. Of course you are, you always are, but the mind, the attention, the thoughts are not. And so in a sense, the life energy is going someplace else. And when your alive attention settles here on this moment, then we've arrived. And that's the beginning of being available, of being ready, kind of receptivity. And so part of understanding this is to understand that it's important, it's valuable, appreciate the role and place of this kind of readiness here, and understanding what gets in the way of it. And so each of us probably has the top tunes, the top maybe 3 concerns, ways of being in the mind that prevent us from being ready. It might be that we have chronic anxiety about what's happening and needing to plan. And so the planning is to get ready, but it's not being ready for whatever's here. A kind of willingness to almost not know, not assert, not project onto life because we're anxious or we want. Another top one might be wanting pleasure, wanting good things, wanting delight. And wanting is not a bad thing in and of itself, but it can, if it's too intense or too caught up in it, then we're not available, we're not present for what's actually here. The art of having desire is having desire with such a light touch that it doesn't blind us to here and now. And then there's also the top kind of what interferes with maybe readiness is some preoccupation about the past. Emotional preoccupation, maybe resentment, maybe delight, or some kind of reviewing and some kind of trying to figure out, or so anyway, so those are possibilities. But what are the top 3 ways in which your mind operates that interferes with your mind being ready, your mind being present in a way that doesn't overlay your preoccupations, your projections, your knowing, your belief that you know what's happening, your belief that in your opinions about what's happening. A readiness is a willingness to put those opinions aside so we can see and hear and know as if everything is new. And in a certain way, they are. And if we don't see in this way that everything is new, then there's a way in which we limit the possibilities for our own transformation, our own way of being changed, which is part of the purpose of cultivating this readiness of mind. Because the ultimate purpose the Buddha gave for this was to give deep teachings in order to awaken people, in order to what he called opening the Dharma eye. So so a wholesome state to be cultivated. We begin by appreciating it, the value of it, the value of having a readiness, an availability, and then to evoke it or recognize it in ourselves and let it expand, let it grow. Let it push against the edges of what gets in the way of that. So you really see what interferes with it. And then experiment with what it's like to live in this world, ready, available, receptive, with a kind of not knowing mind, meaning that the mind doesn't assert or insist that it knows everything. It's available. So this is a wonderful, wholesome state of mind that supports wholesome life, supports a wise life, supports a compassionate life, supports the ongoing development of this practice that we do. And it's one of 5 states that the Buddha emphasized. And we'll go through the next 4, and maybe all in preparation for the coming year. Maybe we're getting ready for 2023. So thank you very much, and I appreciate this chance to be with you all.